because I really want to differentiate between those two things, wishful thinking and facts, right?
No, I wholeheartedly agree with you on that one. You cannot just change the parameter and expect the chicken to run into a different stable. It's not working like that. I'm making up a new English saying for that. But
Yeah.
so
Will you repeat that, Marcus? That's the new chicken across the road joke. What's this?
hello, and thank you for joining our fireside chats with founders at the European Cardano community. I am Marcus, one of the core team members, and if you like what we are doing, please consider supporting our individual projects. You will find the links to our guests and our projects below the video. Please give us a thumbs up, follow us by hitting the bell icon, and let's enjoy this session.
Hello, hello, hello. I welcome everybody to another appointment of our Fireside Chat / European Town Hall. As usual, we have wonderful guests that are joining us. We were pushing to have them here as usual, and they are great. They accepted, and so they will explain us their projects and what they are doing for our community. And after say that, we can go ahead and start with our mantra. This is a copy of the Global Town Hall mantra, but to make the things even messier, we decided to translate each line in a different language of the European Union so that we can make it funnier and yeah, nobody will understand anything, but it's okay. As usual, I will start with the first line because I'm the only time in the room. So, benvenuti all'esperimento. Boaz, take it away for the French line, please.
Les choses peuvent.
Wonderful.
Quebra.
Who's going to take the next line? That is the easy one.
Fehlende Dokumentation.
Great. Differ greatly between iterations.
I'm living in Germany, but I am not a native speaker. But I know German
Okay.
recently.
Okay, cool. Derek, the next one is your line.
I like to disorient, overload, and inspire as well.
Yes. Our goal is to provide a nathless and lively environment for you to explore the highest potential de la colaboración humana. I was my Spanish.
That was cool.
Cool. And now there is the mantra that is specific for the European Cardano community that is, as everybody knows already, is just Marcus' duties to read every time.
I feel Darlington has been here quite a while now. Do you want to read that?
That's a big change, guys.
Oh, snack.
Okay, these are some reminders to keep your notes up to date. Try to study or learn something new every day. Support and connect with community members for synergy and goals. Be inclusive, friendly, and wise with words, even in anger. Share information without destroying dreams, people, or their reputation.
Thank you so much.
Cool. We should do it more often.
Yeah.
So, just a small reminder that one of the duties of the European Cardano community is to host Twitter spaces in different languages. We are currently hosting space pretty frequently in Greek, in Italian, we have Spanish one, we're still waiting for a German one to happen and a French one. But if you have any friends that want to talk about anything about Cardano, just get in contact with us and we'll make it happen. We also host in-person events. We had fantastic workshops in Italy. We have in Greece, a couple of them. We have in Bulgaria, and we want to keep those going, even if we didn't get funded for Fund 12, but we still have a little bit of funding left from Fund 11. So we want to keep on proposing to have in-person events because it's the best way to do networking. So even in this case, if you want to host a workshop, in-person workshop, that's get in contact with us, anybody of the team, and we'll give you instruction and we can cooperate to do that.
And just good news. Boaz just
said that he's gonna do the French ones.
Yes.
That's amazing. We just have to find the time now. And hopefully Friday is working for everybody. And Mateusz, maybe you wanna every now and then have one in, I guess, Polish, is that, or Czech? What is your nationality?
Yeah, no, Polish. Yeah,
Yeah.
I have, yeah, that's not a problem. In fact, I already just hopped out from the podcaster in Poland. One of the podcasters yesterday, I was also doing for another podcaster from Poland, but that wasn't kind of like a conversational style, other than, of course, with the podcaster, like an interview. So I definitely do stuff for the Polish community, but we also did a couple of Twitter spaces already for the Polish community. So
Nice.
I try to do something for
That's
Poland.
great to hear. That's really great to hear. We would love to have a Polish space going on. We have a small contribution in ADA, of course, for the official hosts. So it's not much, but it's already something, and it's a great way to use the budget we had from Catalyst.
And we also have some people speaking Vietnamese in Europe. So maybe, Tu Xin, maybe this is something for you as well. I don't know. If you have English roots, the boys in the middle, feel invited. We're open. Help us with that, and let's grow together. Another good news regarding Catalyst, we just closed out Fund 10 and it got passed. We're gonna looking forward to that NFT. And I'm gonna reach out to Mr. Lido, Mr. Darlington, and then we're gonna present it and we're gonna drag it all over Twitter. So looking forward to that. We changed our profile link on Twitter. So away from Linktree, more into GitHub to show that we are moving more forward to being open source. And so everybody can contribute. And if you want to join us, you find more information right now there. If you have suggestions, talk to us. If you have contribution ideas, just create a pull request.
Well said.
Let's go to the next part.
Yes. So now we will present our guests and we'll start with Tempo.
So the idea is the idea is for those who haven't been with us before, we make a little tiny introduction of somewhere around 5 minutes, 2 to 5 minutes. That's the current format, so that the other speakers in the room do understand who you are, what you're working on, and then after everybody has shared his little wisdom, also for founders, because how you're building for a while now, you have been through certain processes. Maybe it's about Catalyst, maybe it's about your own endeavors. Share your thoughts with other fellow founders, that we can put them into a short on video on YouTube and share it with the community. You have a minute, basically, longest. After that, YouTube will cut it. But if you have a little bit of a note for us as well, add it after your presentation. And then we get into the full conversation for all of us, where you always can re-reference your project, by the way.
Yeah. So usually after this introduction, of course, we want to promote discussion. So if everybody has any question for the guests, please go ahead and ask, so that we can keep the conversation going on and learn more about those projects. Who's going to take it away from Tempo to give the small introduction?
To Chin or Cindy, how do I correct, or how do we correctly say your name?
You call my name is Chính, and you can call me Chính or Cindy. That's well.
Cool.
Thank you. Stage is yours.
Yeah. So here we go.
Yes.
Yes, please.
Please.
Yeah. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for having us today. My name, as you know, my name is Chính, and today I'm joined with Mr. Bin, but maybe he will join later. We are excited to talk to you today about Temple, an innovative governance tool we are building to transform communication and decision making within the Cardano. And so, why we build it? Temple were created to bridge communication gaps and provide a platform where ideas can
You are breaking out.
be exchanged freely, and decisions we are dedicated. Yeah, we are dedicated to enabling governance involvement, fostering a decentralized to Temple supported. The Temple it decided to support DRS, DAOs, and SPO by enhancing community engagement and fostering effective governance. Yeah. Okay. Now let's talk about what Temple offer for each of these groups. A holder to register as a direct and actively engage in governance. Our platform offers comprehensive direct profiles that include visual information and on-chain voting histories. This feature allows ADA holders to make informed decisions when delegating their voting power. And secondly, a standout feature of Temple is Direct to engage with the community to bring ideas to the surface for meaningful discussion. You know, before any vote takes place on Cardano, directs and their delegates can deliberate on proposal, share perspective, and collectively shape decision. This unique feature ensures that votes are well informed and aligned with the community interests, enhancing the quality of decision making and fostering a more collaborative governance process. Move on with DAOs. Yeah, with DAO, firstly, we provide governance tool with customizable setting using Cardano native token, empowering token holders to create proposal and participate in voting. Secondly, Temple has quickly become an essential potential component for DAOs, enabling seamless integration with their website in just 30 seconds. Thirdly, we calculate voting power based on token holdings, including governance tokens locked in DeFi apps. Yes, and finally, by harnessing community ideas and feedback, we help DAOs manage their product roadmaps more effective and implementing community ideas. And for SPO, we offer the same feature as we do for DAOs, but voting power is calculated based on delegated stacking amount instead of governance tokens. Yeah, now let's talk a little about the roadmap. We recently launched features to enhance community engagement for DAOs and SPO. This month, that are aligned with the Cardano voter era and emphasize governance and community participation. And we are developing multi-language support, starting with English and Japanese, and with more languages are coming soon to broader accessibility. And lastly, we want to say that we truly welcome feedback from the community to help us improve and enhance our offerings. Thank you for your time and attention. We love to hear your feedback and answer any question you have regarding Temple. Yeah.
Thanks, Cindy. That was very nice and perfectly in time.
Yeah. Thank you for your listening.
Thank you very much. Yes, thanks. My name is Darlington. I'm with the Light Donation crew. We primarily are an education company. We do general blockchain training just for people walking about in the neighborhood. And then we also do developer mentorship for developing capacity, mostly in the Africa region, for future Cardano devs. And so as part of our strategy for developer mentorship, we try to build real products, and we try to do it with mentors and seasoned devs. Light Donation, of course, you might be familiar with the Catalyst Explorer tool. You might also be familiar with that is the work of myself and 11 other developers, mostly in Kenya, sometimes in Congo, and there was one guy in Liberia for a few weeks. Yeah. Other than that, something I like to shine a light on today is our newest product we're putting out there, open source, 1694.io. This is something that came shortly after the initial 1694 CIP discussion in Longmont, and that website that's turning into a platform is meant to be part of the core tooling for Cardano governance. The recent thing that's been put on there is the DREP campaign platform. So this will be a place where DREP can engage with developers, showcase their on-chain activities as well as their thoughts. So DREP can actually post notes. And this is a place for developers to go and see DREPs and see their full on-chain history. Anything that pertains to that DREP, we will be surfacing it. And the note functionality on there is meant to grow into a rich sandbox that can contain all kinds of things. Right now, they can contain a plain text, a YouTube video, PDF. They can contain a proposal, and a proposal, the on-chain governance action will be richly displayed on the page so people can engage with it. It could, in the future, perhaps contain a module from the previous speaker, and you can just engage with the voting directly on the DREP timeline. So that's how we're building it up to be. Super, super cool tool. Speaking of Project Catalyst, and you can ask about this in the Fireside chat. If you did participate in Catalyst, got funded, and completed your work, we also are issuing free NFTs. It costs nothing. I think just the transaction fee, but it's 0 ADA, and you can claim those if you have completed your NFT on lightdonation.com/catalyst. Every single member of your team gets one, and there is one unique NFT for each proposal, which is super cool.
Can we
Thank
do
you.
that on the secondary market then? Like if I want to set up a proposal, then I can say I have finalized 20 proposals.
Yes, there is metadata in there that has things like idea, skill, username, proposal ID, but sure.
It was just a PHP.
Anyway, that's my time. Thank you.
Thank you.
Darlington, you are the best. Thank you very much, as usual. So we stick to the plan and we keep the questions for later. So we go to Matthew now. Matthew, take it away.
Who is Matthew? I don't know who's Matthew. No,
Sorry.
no, I'm joking. I'm trolling. My name is Mateus. Yeah,
Mateus, sorry.
but the English version is of course Matthew. But yeah, I'm an operator of the Cardano fan staking pool in Cardano since 2018. We maintain a few repositories under Cardano fans. Also, we are the creators of Cardano Blockchain Insights, this kind of statistics tools, which provides very interesting things like the blocks, which transaction types, number of operators which mint the block. There's so many things I will not be able to. There's a lot of infographics, a lot of things. Apart from that, we also have a portal called dApps on Cardano, which does not include aggregators, but it includes the standalone dApps, right? Like MintSwap and Sunday Swap and AXO and all of these things, Liquid, of course. And also display statistics for those dApps, like how many people interacted with the dApp, what are the transaction sizes, has the dApp moved to Bluetooth V2 or it's still on Bluetooth V1, for instance. A lot of things there as well, or if the audit has been done for a particular dApp or not. Apart from this, since 2 years, I also work for Cardano Foundation as a developer. I've been mainly involved in the Cardano voting application, also known as Cardano Ballot, which has been so far used for voting for 2022, 2023 for Summit, but also has been used, not sure if some of you remember here, for the SIP 1694 pre-ratification voting. There has been such a thing. So now with the fact that Ledger and Keystone support CIP 30 transaction signing, finally we can have this tool taken to another level that even hardware wallets owners will be able to cast the votes. I have been working on this application mostly until end of the year, last year, and this year, and even already in December, I am working on a new product that will be open source very soon by Cardano Foundation. Stay tuned. A very exciting product. I'm very happy what is being built. A quite challenging product, more challenging than the voting application for sure. So I've been a developer for 30 years now. No, 30, sorry, 20, excuse me, 20 years. Started my career in 2004 in Poland and London and Berlin now. Various companies, various institutions, but mostly in the enterprise systems. So blockchains is something very new to me, relatively, looking at the whole career. So I'm learning a lot still. I'm not a doctor of computer science or something. So of course, for me, it's some of the more complicated things require a deeper dive. But actually, because of the fact that I worked mostly in the enterprise systems, typically in the enterprise systems, you don't need to use blockchain in the same way that you would have to use if you are writing a blockchain from scratch. Like you would have to be sometimes like really doctor of computer science, right? Especially in Cardano, you have to be sometimes feels like a doctor because we are innovating a lot here comparing to other blockchains. So that's about me. If you have any questions, I'm more than happy to answer. Yeah.
Very cool. Very cool group.
Yeah.
Just let's figure out if we can to Chin get back. Yay!
Hey, welcome back.
Hi.
There you go. That works.
Yes.
Awesome. Wonderful. Davide, you had a question.
Is there any initiative for having your voting system implemented in some kind of organization or political voting, or what is the main goal for your project?
Main goal for my project is connect to have the DAOs, SPO, and DREP connect with the community. Via proposal voting, we raise their voice and have this organization make transparent.
I think you're breaking up.
And darling, you had your finger up too, I think, before.
No, just doing this.
Oh, okay, good. Did you hear of Tempo Vote before?
Off and on, it was cutting in and out.
But when I
Yeah,
talked to you about it, Tempo Vote, I told you about it, and you were like, "Oh, wow, that sounds interesting." So did you hear about the project before? Have you had contact with each other, and vice versa as well, obviously?
No, this is the first I'm hearing about it. We'll definitely be taking a look at it. Yeah, because one of the functionality that we have with the DREP campaign platform is that the DREP can control who sees some of the things that's on your timeline. So they can post things there and they can say this thing I post in here is only for my delegators. Or it can be for any logged in ADA user. And I'm definitely curious or interested in adding a functionality for DREPs to be able to do temperature checks. So the Tempo project, there might be some synergy there to do that stuff. So I don't have to host all that data. Yeah.
Very cool. And we have Bin Mai. Are you also involved in the project?
Yeah, hi. Sorry, I had problem connecting. Can you guys hear me?
We can hear you. We can hear you. It's a little bit up and down with the volume, but we can hear you.
Yeah. So sorry, yeah. We so I'm involved with Tempo. Yeah. So yes. Basically, we took the idea from uh, just having a idea of allowing direct people to interact with like the delegators. Basically, and make it easy where that we have like a simple Google similar little bit like analytics where you just include a small JavaScript into the website, any websites, and then you allow you able to have a pop-up, and then so on the direct website, like you can want to input that simple JavaScript in, then you allow to then with that, you're able to interact with all your delegators, and with that plugin, you're able to uh, how do I put this? Yeah. So I think that the main idea is that to make it easy for all the delegator to interact with and raise proposal and vote on based on the sorry, it's past midnight here, so a bit how do I think about this properly? Okay, so yeah, so basically the one thing that we make it is that make it easy for any direct to go to interact with the delegator by including a simple JavaScript in the website, and with that JavaScript, once the delegator connect their wallets in, then we're able to allow them to like raise proposal, vote with all the and interact based on these proposals on their websites, and even comment on each other proposal. So basically, they can run all these like small, like all these small votings and like discussion among the delegators. Yeah, without how do I put this?
So basically, you have an off-chain communication tool between the delegator and the DREP? around
Yes,
proposals,
yeah, and it's actually very easy to
and
integrate. Yes.
you can use that as a widget on the website. So if I want to be a DREP, I can link to TempoVote via the widget, and then pull my profile from TempoVote into my website and enable the communication with my delegators from there. And then probably I have to log into TempoVote as a DREP in order to communicate with my delegates, or do I have a delegators, or can I do that from my website then as well?
On your website, as in you just log in, once you connect your wallets. Of course, I think the first time when you log in, and you have to create, you have to register your account and we actually integrate with SanchoNet. So you have to register as a direct, just like normal, like on direct websites. Once you register as a direct on the normal direct websites, then once you connect your wallet here, it will automatically disappear. So already appear.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
And did you hear the suggestion from Darlington to explore collaboration possibilities? And do you guys work with Mateusz in regards to voting, as he's highly involved with that? Like,
I didn't
goes out
hear the
to
suggestion.
the both of you.
No, we don't work together for starters. Okay. Second of all, unfortunately, I'm not very actively involved in voting anymore. The application is open source. I have been a little bit working on this application because when is Rare Evo coming? Tomorrow, right?
I
I
think
think so, yeah.
so.
No, I'm asking a question. Do you guys know? Tomorrow, is it?
I think so. Tomorrow
I
is
think the party
Cardano.
starts tonight, and the main event is tomorrow.
Okay,
I
so
know.
basically, I'm gonna make a small spoiler alert for the spoiler
Oh,
for tomorrow. Yeah, so it's tomorrow, so I guess there will be some demo from the Identity Wallet team, and so I was involved a little bit into some integrations there. But apart from that, I'm working on a new project. However, the project is fully open source. The one from the Cardano Foundation under a very permissible license. The only problem, well, there are two problems only. Problem number one, for the backend, you need to know Java. Not everybody is a Java developer, so that already doesn't work for some people. And second thing is that even if you do know Java, you still will need to obviously learn roughly how the application works, what's the architecture, and so on and so forth. Like every time, right? Whatever you would want to do to any open source project, you would have to learn. But everything is open source, available for the community to pick it up. We encourage even people to pick up rather than start from zero. However, this is not centered around DREPs, this product that we have. This is something else here related to DREPs, right? So this is very important to keep that in mind.
So, proposal suggestion for Catalyst: write an API for the open source Java SDK.
Yeah, and one more sentence on this topic is because when we talk with people who are not developers, I'm not saying you guys are not developers, some of you are, right? But a lot of people think, oh, okay, so I have a voting system, so it's done. Well, that's not how it works. Turns out that the statement called "the devil is in the details" also applies to the voting systems. There are a lot of different possibilities for the voting systems with different set of trade-offs. Yeah, I don't want to get into this at the moment because this is at least for 1 hour conversation. But there are different designs basically, right, of various voting systems. So
question for Temple. Already an issue I'm starting to see is, I think there's 3 or 4 places now where I see DREP would be able to go. I think there is Richer People, REAP, for notifications. There is the DREP campaign platform we're building on 1694.io. There's also some limited DREP profile functionality in the Gov tool. And then we have this Temple thing. What's your thoughts on making use of the DREP, the SIP 100, and things like IPFS, and maybe even having some extended section to that current DREP metadata, the SIP 100 metadata, so that this DREP stuff can follow them, like the bio, like the name, if they're going to add socials, maybe other 3 or 4 or 5 common fields, so that they don't have to go create this stuff and rewrite this stuff on every platform. It can just be read.
But
Yeah,
Darlington, the Cardano way is to recreate everything brand new as if no one else built it before.
No, but actually it's because ours is a widget, like Marcus mentioned earlier. So actually pretty easy for us to integrate or support. Yeah, I mean, we definitely can make it built into our tempo as well. It's very easy. Whatever is on chain, right? It's actually very easy for us to pull out and displays on our widget as well. So
yeah.
Can
yeah,
you
that's
increase the
the
volume of
SIP
your microphone? Can you, Bean, Mike,
yes,
can you
sorry,
increase the volume of your microphone?
my microphone.
That would be cool.
While you're doing that, the SIP stuff is not on chain, and that's why I'm asking, because you have to do extra work to go get the data in the JSON, and then it would be really cool. And this is what we're doing on 1694, that when you claim your profile, it reads that external JSON that's posted somewhere, and it pre-populates that stuff. And then if you update your profile, it gives you the option to update your on-chain metadata so that new information follows you to wherever else you might be going as a DREP.
I understand. So that is actually it's still pretty easy to do, even if off chain, as long as the community follow a standard, like you mentioned, like everybody follow the same same metadata standards, right? Then yes, it's very easy to do. The key is that all the DREP and all the other tools should be following using the same metadata standards. Yeah.
Right. I think there's one already. There's the SIP 100 that has it already has a bio field, it has an email field, it has a name field. So when you create, and then I think the only trouble right now that I think is a bug, not a feature, when you create your DREP profile on the Gov tool, they make you go host that file yourself, as opposed to just throwing it in IPFS for you and saying, yeah, it's your thing. But so they're still working on that, but at least the SIP standard for what the DREP metadata should look like and what goes in there already exists, which is nice. So yeah, it should hopefully you guys integrate that and you use that for your bio and your name stuff, because that would be super cool.
Are you using it that way?
I will note that. Yes, thank you.
Yeah, what's that?
Way? Are you using it that way already? Or
yeah, we're using it that way, and we're currently trying to set up IPFS to not make people have to go post stuff on GitHub. I mean, you can still host it on GitHub if you want, but if you just don't want to go mess around with servers, you can just pick the IPFS option. And then when we update your metadata, we will point to IPFS instead of GitHub and publish your JSON there. But yeah, that's how we're using it because I think it makes sense. And I think that JSON LD standard has support for arbitrary number of fields. So I feel like it could, and it's not on chain. So in theory, it can hold a large number of things. And so I feel like if we're all using it, there won't be any like data lock-in and
I can
yeah.
see a lot of fields popping up. Oh, I need that one.
I mean, honestly, even like token registration right now, like Cardano native token data, we are using GitHub as a central place for registration anyway. So even for DREP, maybe using GitHub is fine still, compared to IPFS, I guess.
Tujin, you made a comment. Just please speak it out so that the viewers of the video can see it as well. If you want.
Yeah, I see the question why direct need to create a pool, and I just want to clear that direct don't need to create a pool for delegator. Instead of that, we create a space for open discussion with their delegator. In this way, they don't need to create a pool, and the focus on for fostering communication and collaboration within the existing communication.
Cool. Thank you.
Thank you.
Perfect. So sorry, I interrupted your talk before.
No, that was great. I think we came to a natural end or conclusion. I think GitHub is silly, but prefer IPFS. But you can have both, right? You can have both IPFS and GitHub.
Yeah, I think the key thing is the format of that, of that metadata, right?
Yeah. Have you seen the SIP? There is a SIP already. Let me see if I can find it and put it in the link.
While you search, we could make it a mandatory standard that every DRAP doesn't have to have a pool, but they have got to have an IPFS server.
Yes. Yeah, I agree. And no Java.
Not Java, but the IPFS server is the service doesn't have to be big. That's fine.
No. We don't even want this.
You're gone instead, right?
Since
you
don't even want that?
should not be IPFS.
We don't want this guy, and I can even explain the reason behind this. One of the big
things. You don't want what?
One of the big things that we are hoping for from DREPs, a lot of us, including myself, is that DREPs actually are not technical. They are much more business driven.
Yes.
Because we have, contrary to what some of you might be thinking, we actually have sometimes a little bit too technical users here. Might sound strange what I'm saying, but it's true. And DREPs, they can have like a completely fresh look into things. Maybe they are very good with marketing, with education, with reach, which typically no names, right? But typically developers just are rubbish with these things. With exceptions, of course, like usually there are always exceptions, but typically developers like to be in a little cave and do things, right? So, well, that's how it works, right? So we actually don't want to create too many barriers for DREPs. We want this to be that easy for them. It's enough that it's already complicated for developers comparing to Ethereum.
No, it makes sense. And running a stake pool is technical in nature versus being a DREP, right?
Yeah, that's a different. That's typically DevOps. So it's a DevOps role. DevOps also people are rubbish at marketing. That's why so many stake pools are not successful. Because it's a completely different thing, operating servers and suddenly marketing your pool. Two different
That's my
things.
problem. That's my problem I have with the K parameter, where the
This
typical
is my
LPO
home, by
would
the
say,
way. My cave, my cave that I'm coding from right now. I just turned
And
off
I
my
don't want you as
background.
a delegator, Darlington. I would not market to you to join my pool or non-pool, or you're not going to vote anyway, and you're going to switch around for the best. Which D-rep is giving me money back, which I don't think D-reps can do. I know how you are.
I wanted to say this is my reasoning where I had the issue with the K parameter and the min fee. Like it was set up from like most technical stake pool operators just say, yeah, there's a statistical chance that if we lower min fee and increase K, then everything is going to be solved. This turned out to be slightly false. And then also lowering min fee, I am from a marketing standpoint saying that's a race to the bottom. And it is, right? I mean, it would support the thesis that we need less stake pools, right? But if something happens, then having exactly the number of stake pools is probably not proficient, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. Matthias, yeah, just to.
I can provide my perspective. Doesn't mean I'm right, I'm wrong. It's a perspective, right? So no attacks. Please, of course, challenge me, but no attacks. So my perspective is that life is basically we are going deflationary. Forget about blockchains. Like everything, a lot of things in life are becoming cheaper, especially when it comes to the technology. Maybe not so much hospital costs and accommodation. These are topics. But let's say technology, whether it is mobile phones, whether it is computers, everything is becoming cheaper. And that also applies to stake pool operators. So there might be a time in the future, I don't wish us that as Cardano community at all, but there might be a time that we will be operating pools because of the charity reason, or just maybe barely making the enough earning just to cover the costs, maybe, or maybe even being negative. The example of Bitcoin shows us that
Where I am now at the moment, by the way.
example of Bitcoin shows us that if you have a sufficiently decentralized network and a huge popularity across the world, you will find enthusiasts that will be doing this. They will be joining, in case of Bitcoin, mining pools, some small operators, some small people at home, and sometimes doing this against the financial incentives. But I don't wish us that. I was just saying that this is not impossible that this would happen. And we cannot stop partially race to the bottom because the whole technology is race to the bottom. If you are buying a television now comparing to buying television 10 years ago, it is a different price. There is a race to the bottom of the televisions, right? There is also a race to the bottom, will be, of the stake pools. In fact, it's already happening, whether we like it or not. We cannot stop this. Unfortunately, right? Because it would be nice to have some sort of course, sustainability and these types of things. The way I'm saying this, I'm not saying this as what I would like to happen, but I'm saying this what is happening. So I'm saying this from the realist point of view, if you get my point, what I'm trying to say, right? Not from the wishful thinking point of view, right? So regarding the parameters, this is also a very interesting conversation because if you see some operators, they are so successful that even they were opening multiple pools against the old parameters, the 340 minimal ADA, and they had 10 pools. And now if we lower some of these parameters, yeah, we did because we lowered the minimum fee. I don't think it really changed anything because those people that were successful, they will continue to be successful or they can find a way. And those people that don't know how to do this, they will not be. We're not really able to affect it much. Again, I'm a realist here. Again, it's not about wishful thinking. It's just about establishing facts because I really want to differentiate between those two things, wishful thinking and facts, right?
No, I wholeheartedly agree with you on that one. That's what I always said. It's you cannot just change the parameter and expect the chicken to run into a different stable. It's not working like that. I'm making up a new English saying for that. But so
will you repeat that, Marcus? That's the new chicken cross the road joke. What was this?
No,
That
I think
was
I
great.
understand. I understand the meaning. Yeah, what you're trying to say.
Same here. Same here.
so that's what I've always tried to.
Maybe a good way to say that would be that we cannot stop gravity, right? The gravity is there, right?
Yeah.
Some
Yeah,
people try to pull against
and
gravity.
I want to add to your thesis that there are delegators delegating to stake pools not for the reason of not just pure for the financial reason.
I know. Yeah.
Exactly, and that's being questioned, and I don't think that is correct. So
no, it's not correct.
I totally side you. I totally.
This is a feature. This is not a bug. This is a feature. You know the saying that developers use. This is not a feature. This is not a bug. It's a feature. It's a feature.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So
So
I'm done. Yes.
there is a group at CF that is analyzing this at the moment with some professors.
Oh, right.
And basically they call it stickiness. So the fact that the person is sticking with a particular pool not because of financial reasons, that actually is we have a unique blockchain in that respect, comparing to if you look at our competitors, because stake pool are nameless. They don't, apart from Tezos, right? Because I think in Tezos there are also these kind of like stake pool operators that can be like somebody that you actually talk to, right? Because in Bitcoin, yeah, there are these people, these miners, but we don't typically interact with them in the same way in Ethereum community, right?
Oh, Partisia has this too.
Sorry?
Partisia blockchain has that too. They also have.
Oh, okay. I was not aware. Yeah. So there are a couple of such blockchains that have public personas, and I like to say that we are a hybrid of a proof of stake and proof of merit blockchain. But when I usually talk to researchers about this, the computer scientists, they don't like this term because for them, proof of merit means that there needs to be some dissertation, there needs to be probably an additional token that in the future could be developed, such that if you have this token, you are increasing the chances also to create a block, not only on ADA, but also on some token. Think about it. Why does it only have to be ADA? We could have another synthetic resource, if you know what I'm trying to say with this, right? And then when there is a lottery, this lottery will look not only into ADA, but also into proof of merit token. And how do you earn these tokens? Well, for instance, you take part in voting, you, I don't know, you develop some products, whatever. I mean, this is his own research field, how you earn this token. But at the moment, researchers like to call it that we have a proof of stake system officially with stickiness. And that word stickiness means that somebody is delegating to a pool not based on financial criteria of in many cases. Basically.
So that
makes it difficult also to analyze, because if you are a researcher, if you want to run some sort of model on it, computer science model, whether using AI or you know, like machine learning technologies, suddenly it becomes problematic because it's a social system. It's a dynamic social system. It's not something that you can say, okay, this stake pool has more rewards. That's why more people will be going there. No, that's not necessarily how it works, basically. So
that's you know that if the selection process does cater for that?
for the
blocks? No, for the blocks? Yeah.
No, for stickiness for sure not, because
the luck does it cater for the stickiness? Or does the stickiness have what's the word? An effect on the luck, on the pool's luck?
Oh, no. It can't.
So, no.
It cannot have, because no, actually no, you're right. It could have, But the problem is that if you are writing an algorithm, I'm trying to think like if I would be writing an algorithm, right? You don't know if somebody is delegating to you because of the stickiness, because of the reason that you are an African poor or whatever that might be, what is important for a person, or you don't know if that person is together with you since beginning because they really like the rewards, because they don't understand how the reward system on Cardano works. Because a lot of people in Cardano think that everybody understands everything about Cardano. It's actually quite contrary. There are many people that understand very small parts of Cardano, often misunderstand completely some other aspects. Unfortunately, what is in our favor sometimes also works against us, because that means if you are on Solana or on Ethereum, you sometimes are also on these blockchains without deep understanding of what these blockchains offer and the underlying infrastructure and advantages and disadvantages. You are just clueless. It's like boarding a plane and you are hoping that it will not fall. And we do know that some planes have been falling. Or if you take a vaccine and it's a COVID-based vaccine and you are hoping that you will not have a blood clot. Well, we happen to know that some COVID vaccines are causing blood clots. It's a fact today. There is a research on that, right? So this is kind of like trust and don't verify model, right? But anyway, I drifted away from the original topic. No, the ledger is not able to reason about stickiness, which is problematic to analyze for researchers. But there's also a feature, because that means we are kind of like a nation. We are kind of like a social system with all the advantages and disadvantages associated with it, right? Because if somebody is a stake pool operator sometimes, and they are YouTuber, we observed in Cardano that sometimes delegators like him. And that's pisses a lot of people off, because if you are somebody from, if you are a great developer developing amazing libraries, the stake pool operators, the delegators might not equally recognize you. So there is this element of a publicity context. But my answer to this is that one of our main problems in Cardano is basically the fact that ADA is so low. Because let's imagine that ADA would be 10 times what is currently, just for the sake of conversation, okay? Well, suddenly a stake pool operator who is a developer might actually have some budget for hiring somebody for marketing, which at the moment they might not be able to do that because of the financial reasons. So this is not their specialty. They are not marketer, they are developer. But imagine now they hired somebody, hypothetically ADA is at $3, $4. Now they hired a marketer. This marketer could create a YouTube video about what this operator is doing. Hey, I'm doing this amazing library. We are developing this product, blah, blah, blah. Well, suddenly somebody's watching this shit. That's amazing. I'm going to delegate to you. Rather than somebody digging on GitHub, and you are thinking that the person digging on GitHub will understand that Light Donation is a superstar and produces 1,000 commits per day. Who knows that? Nobody knows this, that Light Donation does a lot of commits and high quality commits as well.
I dare to say that I can support your thesis, because we as EU Cardano, we have been in contact with a few SPOs that have been a little bit lesser known, but since we are in contact with them, they've been pushed quite a bit with their stake up, and I would dare to say this is in part reflected to our contact with them, as we have been pushing them into that direction. So
you mean because of the fact that there is this channel at the moment, or
they got some extra exposure, and
because of the EU Cardano?
Yes. So yeah, I would support your thesis there. Doing awesome work as a technical SPO, and then getting the extra exposure so that delegators could see, oh, that's what they do. Awesome. I didn't know that. Now I'm gonna get there. So
big time, I would say.
Absolutely.
And I'm not surprised.
But how much space there is for that? I mean, we have 3,000 stake pools operators, more or less. So how many of them can actually deliver much more that can be recognized by just marketing? What what can be another strategy to differentiate yourself as a stable operator?
Well, you know, my answer to this is gonna be a little bit non-conventional. It's a little bit like how nature works, right? Suddenly somebody comes up with this kind of phase, somebody comes up with another phase, like how genetic algorithms work. Not sure if you guys roughly know how genetics works, right? And suddenly comes this face like me, looking like UFO or whatever, right? So what I'm trying to say with this is that this is the beauty of evolution, and this is beauty of the. We can just brainstorm a little bit, but that's the whole point. That is actually about discovering and trying to see what works, what doesn't work. What I haven't seen a lot, and maybe this would be successful, maybe not. I haven't seen somebody a stake pool operator who would be enormously persistent in organizing meetups in a particular city where they live versus in a capital, doing this on a monthly basis, and of course informing the community about it. Of course, YouTube, yeah, we have a lot of YouTubers, we have a lot of developers, which are stake pool operators, that's for sure as well. But we don't have this person, hey, I'm renting a particular room, and there is an ongoing, persistent thing in some capital, let's say in Italy, in Rome, in Poland, wherever that would be, doesn't really matter, right? So this is just me brainstorming at the moment on the spot, right? We can of course continue brainstorming what could be other things that could play a role. What we're trying to do with Cardano Sapien, I don't know if some of you know, but we have a partnership now. We're trying to push educational video about Cardano, but not the ones that are currently communities pushing, like for instance, Peter, right? Paul, we have a few people that are Dap Central, of course. Huge kudos to Dap Central. We have a few YouTubers, but what we try to do is more along the lines of philosophy on Cardano, comparing it to Bitcoin, Ethereum. What are the differentiating factors? Why are we trying to build a network state in Cardano? What components do you need in a blockchain in order to build a network state? We have like 30, 40 topics basically in the pipeline. So we try to do it like that. I needed to form this partnership because I have absolutely no way to do this otherwise. I'm not a video editor. I do not know how to produce videos, how to edit videos, and so on and so forth. He's a specialist in this area. So we formed this kind of partnership. Now we'll see. I don't know. At the moment, I got zero delegation out of this series, but we are just starting, so we will see. But again, this is YouTube. That's not what you wanted to know, because this is again this YouTube, right? I would say, you know, building products, going out, so that Cardano is understood better. Because, you know, if there is anything that I can say at the moment, which is our biggest problem in Cardano, it's actually not technology. Many people think, oh, we have finality, which is like 36 hours. By the way, Ouroboros Peras is coming, right? Technology is not our main problem at the moment.
No.
Our major problem is the fact that people do not understand the unique value proposition of Cardano. So in the world, basically.
Yeah, but that's probably is still linked to the same issue that you highlighted before. The value of ADA is very low now, so people mostly are interested in the numbers that are going up, and they don't try to put much of an effort to understand different things if they see.
Yeah, this is for sure. If ADA started to rapidly increase in price, we already observed that, in fact, in 2021. Do you know how many people joined Reddit? We were at 100,000 subscribers in Reddit in 2020. 100,000 subscribers. We grew in 1 or 2 years to 650,000 subscribers. Think about it, 500,000 of people.
Yeah, true.
This was because of the price growth. But here is my answer to this. My answer is the following. You know, when you have a forest in Greece, I'm not sure if anybody's here in Greece or in these countries which are very dry, right? But if you have a summer in Greece, what happens is that typically nothing happens. But then the sun really keeps bombarding, and there's just a small, tiny sparkle that happens somewhere, and then the forest goes on fire in short amount of time. So what I'm trying to say with this, because where are you going with this? What's your point, Mateusz? I have a point. So we need, as we keep growing organically, and we need to continue that. Africa, man, what Lido Nation can do in Africa, I know it's probably very busy, of course, developing products, but we all have capability to kind of educate and scale our. We have 650,000 Reddit subscribers. We just need to activate ourselves to somehow do the work that not everybody wants to do, like this kind of like I call it education and reach. I don't call it marketing because I hide the word marketing. For me, marketing means that you're trying to sell somebody some rubbish product and will make them
That's because of the industry. Marketing actually means working on the market. It's
I know. Industry plays a role for sure here. Yeah, but anyway, that's just on a side note to this stuff. So what I want to say is that once you start doing this, somebody somewhere will put forest on fire. Maybe this could be like during the Rare Evo now, Charles Hoskinson together with this future president, hopefully, right? The JFK Jr., right? Maybe this will be because...
Robert. Is it Robert?
Yeah, maybe...
Robert, yeah.
It's like a butterfly effect. It's at some point, somewhere, a small spark will happen. And then somebody will start acquiring ADA, maybe individuals, maybe hedge funds, maybe rich players, maybe poor players, or maybe all of us together, rich, poor, regardless of how rich you are. And then ADA will start climbing 35, 40, 45, 50. And that's what I mean by creating this spark. This is exactly how Bitcoin has grew. Bitcoin has grew for the sparks. And there were like also pumps and dumps for the Bitcoins. You guys know, you can study the chart yourself, right? So we need to grow organically, and we need to, somewhere somebody will create that spark. And that's where when people join us, after this spark happens, we no longer are, oh, maybe they will launch smart contracts. Well, now they have a Plutus V3. Now they are already discussing zero knowledge-based smart contracts. I don't know if you guys want me to talk about what kind of possibilities Plutus V3 will offer, right? Lido Nation knows because I was already talking on the Twitter Spaces. You remember Lido? I think you were a part of it, right?
Oh, he's gone already.
He's already gone. Yeah. Okay. So Plutus V3 will offer medium-term, very interesting scalability possibilities for Cardano developers. And Leos, of course, will take it, like, will finalize it, like, put a stamp on it, right? But even Plutus V3 already will give us a proper kick. When dApps will move to the zero knowledge-based smart contracts, of course. So what I want to say is that when new people join, you are no longer in conversations, oh, you are maybe about to launch staking or whatever it is, right? Wow, now you have DREPs, now you have liquid staking, now you have this, now you have Paras incoming. What I'm trying to say is that it's like a snowball effect. You are just gathering your snow each time, and the ball is getting bigger and bigger. You see what I'm trying to say with this?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, very
because of the beautiful invention of the hard fork combinator, which many people, completely 99% of crypto does not understand that that's one of our biggest killer features, hard fork combinator. Because blockchains by default are extremely difficult to modify by definition of them, because they are supposed to be about immutable systems, immutable transactions, and these types of things. So the moment you come up with a blockchain, hello, Cardano, which makes it easier to upgrade the blockchain. Upgrading the blockchain is always difficult, whether it will be Cardano, Ethereum, Bitcoin, no matter which blockchain. But then you make it easier to safely upgrade the blockchain. Suddenly you have extreme value proposition that 99% of the people in crypto do not understand. And that's actually something that's why I believe that educational content and teaching the benefits of Cardano is so important. Because once you understand this, you understand that we are in a different game. It's like, it will sound ridiculous because from the adoption and from the price token, of course, we are far from it. But to some extent, we are even completely in a different ballpark than Ethereum is. It's like, it's so different, basically. They're so far away technologically. That's why I found it so funny to say that Cardano is a clone of Bitcoin because of Ethereum, because it's nothing but a clone of Ethereum.
Yeah, that's nothing. It doesn't compare in nothing. It's totally different.
It's not even close.
No, no.
You know.
Yeah, you could maybe say that there are some similarities to Bitcoin, to Ergo, of course, there are similarities of Cardano, Ergo blockchain, right? But to Ethereum, it's like, guys, seriously, what?
Yeah.
Here are transactions and here are transactions? Okay, yes, that's the same. Yes, we have transactions. Okay.
Yeah. It's a blockchain.
It's a blockchain. Thank you. Yeah. So anyway, sorry that I went on this funny discussion. Nobody asked me to do so, but yeah.
No, that's cool. That's exactly what we're striving for.
That's the purpose of our Fireside chats.
Say again, sorry?
It's exactly the purpose of our Fireside chats. So we want this kind of conversation. It's nice that we speak freely about what happens, what comes into our minds.
Drifting off is fine.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
So, but we're coming to the end of time for today. We all want to join the family. Some have to work probably. So thank you so much. This was incredibly interesting, and everybody who was here today, feel free to rejoin. That goes for you guys of Tempo. That goes for Darlington, who's gonna rewatch the video for sure. That goes for you, Mateus. It was a pleasure. It was an absolute pleasure. And if you have some news, anything that you want to share, reach out, and we are a platform for you. And if you don't know where to delegate, there you have Mateus. What is your ticker again?
CRFA, Cardano fans. We are at the moment at around 29 million, so there is plenty of space until 64. We do not plan to open another pool. By the way, just in case we were saturated, we believe in the decentralization. We will not do this.
Perfect. The same goes for Darlington with the pool. Lido, guys, do you have a pool with Tempo?
There is another pool that I like very much. It's a birth stake pool. So you can take a look at it as well.
So Mateus, if you have an extra wallet, just delegate it to Birth. That's fine. That's me. Support EU Cardano. I'm happy to accept it. And so with that, thank you so much, guys. Happy to see you again.
Marcus, may I jump in and say one last thing? I would feel bad if I didn't get a chance to say this. Matthias, you've been a bit of a leader and a role model and mentor in if you didn't know it, to me, seeing how you engage with the community, the context, content, the knowledge that you bring. Thank you for that. I always look forward to seeing what you're doing and saying and how you address situations. So
my pleasure. And thank you for this kind word.
And of course, you are very welcome to join us again. I would love to have this kind of discussion once more because it was extremely interesting. Thank you very much for joining us. And we hope to have you again. Yes. Enjoy your evening if you are.
Thank you very much, guys.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you for welcome us today.
Yeah, very welcome.
Thank you for joining.
Bye.
Come again. Bye.
Bye.